About a year and a half ago, I was in a lot of pain and needed to go get a massage. Tarek had shining reviews, a few hundred 5-star reviews. I was doing a 90-minute hot stone massage. When I got to Tarek's house, let me just clarify, this was a house. It was a house. I wasn't expecting it. Tarek led me upstairs to the massage room. As soon as Tarek started, I noticed that he was breathing really heavy. It really started to go downhill. Tarek was massaging my inner thighs, really close to my privates. He worked his way back down to my feet, and he started to rub his face on my feet, all the while moaning and saying, "Oh my God." It was really frightening. He was pleasuring himself. I was paralyzed with fear. So Tarek started massaging my arms, and he got to my hands, and I felt something get placed on top of the hot stone. Tarek placed his genitals. I didn't know what to do, and I thought that if I just pretended like nothing happened, then I might get through to life. I don't know this guy. I don't know if there's weapons. As soon as I got in the car, I called my husband and I told him what happened. Tarek violated me. My husband went with me to make the police report. Since then, I have struggled with anxiety and depression. He is a malicious narcissist psychopath without a doubt in my mind. He's very twisted.
Well, Julia joins me via Ionico, and she has asked me not to disclose her location. I certainly will not. Julia, I'm glad that you're willing to talk about this, and you're wanting to talk about this and disclose this because you want to protect other women from what you believe to be a very dangerous sexual predator, correct?
That's correct. That's the main reason why this is a national platform. So I figure that even if he does jump jurisdictions, it will at least reach more people in other states.
You say this has been very traumatizing to you. What's been the effect of this happening? You felt very vulnerable at the time, and you were very scared.
I was completely paralyzed in fear. I didn't want to believe that it was happening when it was happening. The after effects, I've had nightmares. It took a really long time for his massage license to be revoked. It eventually did, after he had accumulated like 18 reports.
You went in to get a massage for therapeutic purposes, and
Yes.
you felt like you were sexually assaulted.
I was sexually assaulted. There's no doubt.
And you didn't say anything at the time. You made your exit as quickly as possible, correct?
Yeah, I didn't know how he would react if I tried to get up and leave. I didn't know if he had weapons. I didn't know what he was capable of. I wanted to believe what was happening wasn't happening, but I know what happened.
So you filed a police report, and in the police report, it says on the 19th of March, 2019, at 9 o'clock, officers responded and spoke with the victim, you, who stated that on the 19th that she scheduled a massage with Tarek at 5 p.m., and that you stated that you agreed to meet him at his friend's house, and you stated that during the massage, he told her that she has pretty feet and made moaning noises while rubbing her feet, and also stated she thinks that his genitals touched her. Then, on the 25th, the detective was alerted by an investigator, Special Victims Unit, that the suspect was listed on several reports in their jurisdiction regarding similar complaints by female clients. And you didn't know this at the time, but you've since learned that there are others that have had a similar experience to yours.
Yes. When I talked to the detective with the Special Victims Unit, she let me know that there were 6 others at the time that this happened.
In June of 2020, a woman by the name of Leah says, I looked on Google to find a masseuse. At the last minute, I took his reviews as legitimate and entered his home business in trust. He offered me half a towel and suggested I might not want to cover it all. During the massage, I felt his genitals on my body. I recoiled immediately, and he said, that was my arm. I instantly became afraid of rape or worse and tried to play cool before asking to go to the bathroom. I called the police, but he refused to answer the door to them. Since then, he's harassed me with countless emails from fake lawyers threatening legal action because I called him out on Google. I've had sleepless nights, panic attacks, and stress recounting it. This man is a danger to women everywhere, and his behavior is escalating. He needs to be in jail. And she gave us that statement herself, and you certainly echo those sentiments, correct?
I do. I think that he's very dangerous, and he's not going to stop.
Now, he denies all of this vehemently. You know that, right?
Yes, I do.
But it takes a lot of courage for you to come here and tell your side of this and be specific. And you've got an awful lot of women that you don't know and don't know you that are saying the same thing.
Sad, nervous, scared, everything about being on Dr. Phil. We're in Russellville, Arkansas. I'm feeling lucky. I want to buy a lotto ticket. This is going to win me $22 million, okay? And I'll be on Dr. Phil again when I become, like, cursed by the lottery. I had a lot of time to think about all these crazy accusations against me. These women have tried to tarnish my name. What I really want to prove to Dr. Phil through a polygraph exam is that all these women are mistaken and that I am a professional massage therapist. We have finally made it to LA. It's almost 5 a.m., so I'm gonna go straight to bed. I feel once I explain what happened, how the misunderstandings happened to Dr. Phil, he will clearly understand where I'm coming from.
I have been a massage therapist for about 5.5 years. My business has been very successful. In 2019 alone, I gave 1,163 massages. Julie was a client I had a year and a half ago. Julia received your standard 60-minute Swedish massage. Julia said Tarek rubbed his face on her feet and placed his male genitalia. And that is not true at all. Julia's allegation regarding my genitalia touching her is completely false. It not only upset me, it made me a little bit angry that Julia came up with this allegation. I think she just wanted attention. Another time, one of the female clients I had, part of her concern was that I had my shirt off. Since like 95% of my clients are gay men who couldn't care less, and so I don't sweat or get exhausted, I feel more comfortable massaging with my shirt off. It's not a violation of the 33-page Tennessee Massage Code of Ethics to have your shirt on. Supposedly, the news reported that a total of 18 women, most of which were not clients, just women I met in my personal life, made complaints about feeling uncomfortable with me. I am aware of at least 9 of the supposedly 18 complaints. As far as the other half, I don't know who they are.
We asked you about a massage therapist whose license was revoked after 15 women accused him of inappropriate sexual behavior.
Law enforcement is already very familiar with the individual in question.
About a month ago, the Tennessee Department of Health unanimously voted to revoke my license. I've lost the biggest source of income that I have. No one cares to have sympathy for me. I want to keep my record clean, and I'm fighting now to do that.
Well, Tarek, welcome.
Thank you.
I know that you've come here to, in your terms, clear your name and regain your livelihood, your right to return to what you're doing. And I guess what I want to do is maybe redefine the term clearing your name, because I want you to approach this by being really open-minded and approach this maybe with a fresh perspective of deciding that the quickest way from where you are to where you want to be may not be in a straight line and may not be at the most feverish pace. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody looks at things differently. You may have been misunderstood in some ways. You may have had a different set of boundaries than other people. I mean, I don't know. You've got an awful lot of women that feel that you crossed boundaries. So I just don't think it's credible for you to say, absolutely none of this happened, zero zip, nada. And I'm really wondering if that's the approach that you want to take here.
I understand what you're saying.
So I just want you to think about that as we move forward.
Yes.
I just talked to Julia, and this woman is traumatized. You said you think she did this just for attention. She doesn't strike me as somebody that's looking for attention. She does strike me as somebody that's traumatized. She said that you touched her inappropriately and that you were actually pleasuring yourself while she was in the room.
She's absolutely incorrect about that part.
I just talked to Julia. She says that the towel that you used to drape her was sitting in a ball on the floor, and that you were so close with your hands that you were touching her. Are you saying that didn't happen?
There was still a boundary. I did not touch her genital area, but upper inner thighs are in the scope of practice of massage therapy.
Okay, so, well, thank you for that candor. And she said that you were breathing heavily and making groaning sounds, and that you complimented her feet. Did you compliment her feet?
Yes.
Yeah, and I thank you for acknowledging that. She said that you put her feet on your face.
It wasn't my face, but I remember my chin had touched the bottom of her foot as I flexed her knee and massaged her calf with either arm. Depending upon the height and the position of the table and the client, it's possible that can happen briefly.
So your face did touch her feet?
My chin.
Well, that's your face.
Yes.
Part of my face, your chin. So your face did touch her feet.
Yes.
So there is truth in that. And she said that there were things that just really crossed the line in terms of you rubbing against her and your genitals touching her body. I don't know how you work around the table or whatever. Is that possible that happened?
Absolutely not. My genitals did not come in any contact with her. I wasn't even exposed, nor did she even
Well, I
claim
didn't
to
ask you if
see.
you were exposed. I was
Nothing.
just saying, is it possible that there was even a contact, any friction, any rubbing against?
There's no possibility that my private parts came in contact with her body, not even accidentally, not even for a split second.
Yeah. And how do you know that with such certainty? You said
Because-
you've given over 1,000 massages during the year. How do you know that at no time during that year did you ever accidentally brush up against someone?
I would certainly remember if my private parts came in contact with someone. I would have to have my zipper unzipped. I would have to have my button unbuttoned. I'd have to pull down my shorts, which I never did, any of those things. And those things I would definitely remember.
Well, I didn't say that you exposed them. I just said that there was contact.
Well, I'd have to be exposed. The body part would have to be exposed to be in contact, right? That's the first step.
No, I'm just saying that you, clothed-wise, that you could brush up against.
But
Is
I
that
understand.
possible?
I suppose anything's possible, but I don't think that was her accusation. I thought her accusation was that I was bare.
Well, I'm
and
not asking about the accusation. I'm just asking if that's possible that could happen, working in close proximity.
It's possible that could happen with someone if you're in close proximity. A therapist could, clothed,
All right. So you said it was a 60-minute Swedish massage,
60 or 90.
and she said it was a 90-minute hot stone massage.
Yes, Swedish is still incorporated in the hot stone session.
So was it a 60-minute Swedish or a 90-minute hot stone?
It was either 60 or 90, or she may have either, I can't remember if she extended from 60 to 90. 60 and 90 are my most frequent ones. It was over a year ago, so that specific length of time I can't remember.
Yeah, well, the reason I'm asking is because she says you put your genital on top of the stone.
Oh, so I didn't put my genital on directly on her, but it was on top of the stone.
I'm just
See,
asking you.
that's new to me. That's not what I heard the allegation was. See, that's already
Oh.
new to me.
Don't know.
I've not had anyone tell me, Department of Health, cop, her Facebook posts, none of them are saying that I put my private part on a stone.
You know who Leah is, correct? Leah tells a similar story. She says that she felt your genitals on her body.
She's absolutely incorrect. I remember that one, every little split second of her, because it was more recent. She's absolutely incorrect. I tried clearing this up with her as it happened.
Mm-hmm.
And even after she left through text and email, I did my best to try to clear this up. She's very mistaken. I know how the misunderstanding happened.
Yeah, she says that you have tried to clear it up because she says that you have harassed her with countless emails from fake lawyers threatening legal action because I called him out on Google. Did you send her fake lawyer messages?
I can't remember in the email if I used the term that I was a lawyer, but I did send multiple emails asking her to remove the review.
Who is Joy Eula?
I don't think that's actually a real name of a person. I just think that's how the email.
I'm sorry?
I think it's just how the email address is spelled out.
What email address?
She's received multiple emails from me asking her to remove her.
Well, who is Joy Eula?
I think that's just the name in the email address.
What name? I don't have other people's names in my emails. I have my name in my emails. Why would you have Joy Eula's name in your emails?
I know someone who has access to multiple email accounts, and I politely asked that person if they could just ask this person to remove her review because it was mistaken. So that person sent multiple.
Someone named Joy Eula?
I don't think her name is Joy Eula. It's just someone I know that I met online, and we've interacted.
So you
through
don't
email.
know her name? You know somebody, but you don't know her name.
We've only interacted through email, so I don't know exactly what her legal name is.
Well, here is a graphic of the alleged legal letter to Leah, and it's from Joy Eula, and it's on July 17th, 2020 at 10:28 p.m. So apparently this legal representative works late into the night on your behalf. Subject, review removal. It's to Leah. We are not here to bully or intimidate you. Communicating to a detective and a police report are irrelevant to review removal. I am a legal representative. We would like to politely request that you remove your review from the Google page. A misunderstanding has occurred in which the lead licensed medical tech had his chin on your palm while he massaged on his knees. You mistakenly thought this was another part of his body. The State Department of Health provides polygraph tests, and the therapist knows that he can pass one. Once it is passed, he could even go as far as to argue unintentional defamation on your part. We have also communicated to the therapist to turn on the air conditioner fan to not be exhausted and not have any part, including arms, chin, even accidentally touch a part of the body. Please confirm when you have removed the review so that we cease contact. We are sorry again you did not have a good experience and wish you well. So, did you write this?
Yes.
You just used Joy Eula's name.
I didn't actually send the email or click send, but I had someone send it.
So this is a lie.
I mean, I didn't claim to be a lawyer per se, but I understand.
Per se. So you're saying you're a lawyer not per se?
I just didn't type out the word lawyer. And I'm not claiming to actually be, that I'm actually a lawyer. I didn't sign
You're saying I am a legal representative. What type of legal representative are you?
I was just having the
Are you a
paralegal.
a legal assistant? Are you a paralegal?
I was trying to get her to think that the person who sent it could be a paralegal.
So you lied.
I mean, I didn't actually send it directly to her, but yes, I was trying to make her think that this person could be a paralegal.
Okay, well, that's
So
not an
yes.
essay question. You either lied or you didn't. Is this a true statement? I am a legal representative.
I'm not a paralegal. I do not practice law. So yes, that is incorrect.
Okay, so this is a lie. This is a misrepresentation in this email. And I noticed that the fonts are different color. So do you use this, is this a cut and paste that you use with like the 18 women? Have you sent this to others?
I've not sent that email to anyone other than her.
Okay. Well, a minute ago you said you didn't send it. You just now said you did send it.
I didn't actually click send. I had someone else, a third party, send it.
Well, it can't be both. I sent it or I had it sent. You're either lying then or you're lying now. Which of them's true? You had it sent or you sent it?
I personally did not send it. I had someone else send it.
Okay, well, I don't know which of the lies to believe because you lied in the email and then you told me you didn't send it and you said you did.
No, I mean, I had it. When I said I sent it, I had it sent, as in I had someone else send it, which is what I've been saying.
You caused it to be sent.
Yes, yes.
From someone whose name you don't know.
Everything I said, my version of events, is completely correct. And I was doing my best to see if I could get it removed because her review was not true and she made an honest mistake. Okay. And I was desperate to find a way to get it removed. If there was truth to what had happened in the session, I wouldn't have minded, and I understand.
Okay, well, this would be a lie, right? We have also communicated to the therapist, that would be you. We, the royal we have communicated to the therapist. So that's a lie, because there's no we, the we's you. So you've communicated to yourself to turn on the air conditioner.
Well, I have.
I absolutely did not fake my own death, no. My brother told me that he had a mutual friend commit suicide. He may have posted on social media about it. Obviously, he has the same last name as me, and we have a unique last name. If I wanted to fake my own death, I could have fabricated fake death documents. No, I did not. How long do you get away with something like that?
Okay. Your explanation for that was you have a brother who has a friend that died.
Yeah, that's what he told me. Like a mutual friend or casual friend he knows
Okay,
of.
but there's a fake obituary, not of your brother's friend, but of you. It says date of passing, August 11th, 2020, Tarek. That's you.
I think that someone else made that.
But it's interesting when you were talking about your twin, you were saying it could be my horny twin that did it, or he either did it or died. So you brought up death
No, the
in
twin.
talking about the twin.
The twin was many stories after. This was like, I think, the third or fourth.
understand.
And then the twin was like the
I
seventh
understand,
story.
but you brought up the twin and death.
Mhm.
And then there's an allegation of a fake obituary and a fake death, and you refer to twin and death at some point. So those words are in your mouth, not someone else's.
Well, yeah, the whole twin email, I emailed, and I did acknowledge that. I remember typing that part out, like a couple weeks after this story had occurred.
So you did talk about the twin, and you did talk about death.
I acknowledged the death weeks after it had initially been brought up in that email. And
Another knee slapper? Another joke?
I was just in that long email, yeah, I just was acknowledging just about every little topic that had been brought up in the news. Just, it's not even entirely to be funny. It's almost like to be sarcastic.
But you did have friends rolling in the floor. Thought it was so funny.
That's what some of them texted me. Both my friends and my
Is this
haters.
after they unblocked you?
Mhm.
We're about out of time today, but this story is far from over. Tomorrow, I'll be joined by 4 of the world's leading body language experts who will take a closer look at very specific and revealing statements Tarek told my team during an in-depth field shoot interview. Now, what did they discover? Find out if there are any clues that will help get to the bottom of these very serious allegations of sexual misconduct. Tarek told my team that he wanted to take a polygraph test to clear his name. I want to be clear, we did not ask him to take a test. He requested that we find a reputable polygraph examiner to administer a test as he felt only comfortable doing so on the Dr. Phil platform. He didn't want to just go out and take one somewhere else. He said this is the only place he would do it. even though I've said many times, polygraph tests are just a tool. They're not perfect. They're controverted. They're not admitted to court. But, well, he took the polygraph test. Did he pass? There's a surprising turn of events you're not going to want to miss.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil.
Why'd you get under the table?
The table during a massage?
Yeah.
A paying client or a woman I met in my personal life? So there's a difference.
You ran an ad that clients could be fully nude without a drape, that clients would be allowed to massage you.
That is all 100% in the scope of practice of the Massage Code of Ethics.
Do you seriously expect me to believe what you're saying?
Believe which part exactly?
And
We sent Tarek to take a polygraph test. Did you deliberately touch while performing a massage on Julia? You answered both questions. And your answer was?
No.
the polygraph results reveal. That's tomorrow.
For more information about today's show, log on to drphil.com. You can follow me on all of my social platforms. You know what they are. And don't forget to subscribe to Robin's podcast, I've Got a Secret. Where were you trained in massage? Did you go to a school?
Yes.
And had hands-on training?
Yes.
Do you think that any of the things that you do, that you acknowledge doing, did those cross any of the boundaries of what you were trained?
You're referring to these things that have nothing to do with massage therapy, like the twin and... Or that,
No, any of the things that you do in the massage room.
Well, again, those most serious allegations are not even true. So I don't agree with that behavior, but the most serious ones are not even true.
Well, in the findings of fact by the board, number 5 in the findings of fact said that you ran an ad that was very specific in advertising for your services. At times, the respondent advertised his massage services online. Among other things, respondent's advertisement stated that clients could be fully nude without a drape, that respondent would massage clients' inner thighs, glutes, and lower abs excessively, that respondent would allow clients to massage respondents, that clients would be allowed to massage you
if it's a trade
during
or
the
barter.
session, and contained the statement, discretion is important.
That is all 100% in the scope of practice of the 33-page Tennessee Massage Code of Ethics, and I can explain every one. It does not require, and this is in the document, a full top sheet. It says just enough, a small one, to cover the groin areas. So you can be fully nude. You don't need a full top sheet as long as you have a small towel to cover those areas, and that's listed in the Tennessee 33-page Massage Code of Ethics.
Well, it's interesting that they, with their 33 pages, they use that as a finding of fact in the determination to immediately terminate your license.
Yeah, because they didn't get a chance for me to give my side of things, and they were looking for more ammo, which had nothing to do with the first 2 allegations against me. I guess they were desperate for some ammo. It's open to interpretation, but inner thighs, glutes, and abdomen are 100% in the scope of practice of massage therapy. Massage trade, barter, which I'm offered many times by clients who've responded to my ads as chiropractors or students. Discretion is important. HIPAA regulations require privacy. You have to maintain privacy with communications, contact information, names. Discretion is very important. Why would I be penalized for that? Am I supposed to not maintain their privacy?
Did somebody slip in here and stamp stupid on my forehead? Do you seriously expect me to believe what you're saying?
Which part? About the HIPAA regulations? About the privacy?
That you're telling me that you expect me to believe what you're saying about that, and you expected the board to believe that.
To believe which part exactly?
That ad is within the boundaries of professional conduct and ethics for a licensed massage therapist.
Glutes, thighs.
Well, listen, I'm not a massage therapist, so I don't know, but I do know someone who is. Why'd you get under the table?
Under the table during a massage?
Yeah.
I don't think any of my paying clients, did they say I was under the table during a paying client or a woman I met like in my personal life? So there's a difference.
One of them says you got under the table to massage her scalp.
Oh, no. She didn't say I was actually under the table. She said that I was on the floor using one hand to use a scalp massage tool, but I wasn't actually under the table. That's not what she said.
I've been doing massage a long time, and I taught massage, and I did a massage DVD, and there's no reason to be laying on the floor, and it just doesn't even make any sense.
It really helped my back because I was able to straighten and pop my back. And she was face down. I didn't think she'd even notice, but that's actually been normal for me. I keep the table at the lowest level, which is why I have knee pads in the video, so I'm on my knees half the time. So that's
How many hours of ethics training did you have in your massage training?
This was in the state of Georgia. I honestly can't remember the exact number. I know we have to do like 4 hours of renewal every 2 years.
Did they talk about where your body is in relationship to the client's body?
Yes, but at least in that case, no part of my body is touching any other part of the
Right,
client.
but it seems to be a pattern that has maybe happened in the past, especially when you're working with a female. As a male, you have to be so hyper aware of how easily predatory this can be.
Yes.
And I feel like it went there.
I can see the misperception. I don't have ulterior motives to go further, but I need to make sure I have stricter boundaries, including full drape. We're not advertising no drape and specify. This is an ad that could have been
This is
reworded.
from client one in the police report. This was November of 17. Respondent massaged a female client, client one. Client one requested a drape, but respondent failed to provide one. And as a result, client one was massaged undraped in her bra and underwear.
I can already correct. There's a small
Would that
misunderstanding.
be appropriate at any time?
No.
There is a misunderstanding with that, though.
It's all a
Respondent engaged in
misunderstanding. It's very
sexualizing and
convenient.
unprofessional behavior with the client, including asking client one whether she had been kissed on her feet, and by asking client one to tell him about that experience, and by getting under the massage table while touching or working on the client's feet.
So many boundaries, Dr. Phil, so many boundaries that are not met during that.
It's helter-skelter here. I mean,
Well, and if somebody wants to stay, I have always said to clients, disrobe to your level of comfort. It is preferable for us to have the client fully nude under the drape. Easier to get to the low back, easier to get to the hips, the glutes. It's better for therapeutic purposes. If somebody is comfortable leaving their panties on or their bra on, we're not going to argue with them on that. Our job as a massage therapist is the comfort, the care, and the health of the person that's on our table.
you're not following that guideline. Come on, you say you want to have some insight here. That's why I said have an open mind going into this. Learn from this situation.
Yes, there's clearly much stricter boundaries. Like, this is my very first complaint ever years back, and this is something to absolutely be learned from. I have to be careful what I say, what I ask.
Well, there was one a year later. It said respondent touched client two's breast. Respondent removed his own shirt. Respondent lay down on the floor while massaging client two's scalp. Respondent touched his genitals.
She's wrong about the last
You're on the
part.
floor again.
That is the one. Oh yeah, that's one I was telling you about earlier, about the scalp and on the floor. Okay, she was face down the whole time. Her breasts are not exposed. I don't massage breast. I massage the side back.
According to her, you didn't massage them, but you touched them.
I massaged the side back. The closest I could have gotten was you have to be mindful of the breast tissue, and I will be mindful of that, but that was absolutely not intentional.
Now, please welcome human behavior analyst and co-creator of BodyLanguageTactics.com, Scott Roush. Now, Scott has trained alongside the FBI, Secret Service, U.S. Military Intelligence, and Department of Defense. Expert in human behavior and body language and author of Truth and Lies, What People Are Really Thinking, Mark Bowden is Harvard-educated and president of the National Communication Coach Association of Canada. Owner of human behavior and deception consulting company MindAtWar.com, Greg Hartley is former interrogator with the United States Army, and best-selling author of the Ellipse Manual. Chase Hughes developed a groundbreaking world-first interrogation behavior analysis tool that revolutionized law enforcement training in the United States. In short, these gentlemen are the best of the best. So, gentlemen, thank you for joining us today. So, you've been watching everything so far. Any comments?
Yeah, Tarek, I've watched your video. I've been doing this a long time. You got a lot of stuff going on. I'm going to tell you, I can see a lot of body language. If I want to start with barriers, when you say your business is very successful, immediately changing, there's an indicator of deception. Start scratching at your scalp when you're talking about Gmail addresses, indicators of deception. There's all this ever-present water bottle you put to your mouth as you get to fight or flight. Your indicators of deception are all over you. Look at that eyebrow you got that you keep trying to push down. It's a good indicator. You can't hide your body language. I see nothing but deception in you.
Tarek, I see indicators of disgust from you, disdain, and contempt. And I see those around when you talk about women, when you talk specifically about ethics, when you talk about the board, when you talk even to Dr. Phil. And that comes from the nose that you make quite often as a baseline, the contempt that you show in the side of your mouth. Often in the videos that I've seen, I see an eye roll from you,
I have an
which
eye
is quite a
strain.
juvenile gesture. I'm sure you have an answer, Tarek, for everything. And that's clear. Whatever we put forward, whatever Dr. Phil puts forward, whatever the people who accuse you put forward, you have an answer to that. And I can see you're under stress right now. I can see that from what you're doing here. It's not about eye strain. It's about the stress that you're under right now, because you know as well as we do that you really aren't telling us everything. Scott, let me hand over to you. What have you got about this?
Well, what I'm seeing is part of this treasure trove of training that we're going to use. When you're talking to someone and you're not telling the truth, what happens is usually the brain has to do three things when you tell a lie. It has to stop and say, don't tell the lie. Number two, it has to create the lie. And then number three, it delivers the lie. And that's where you need time to make that lie up, because there's that space there. That's what you're using that water bottle for. Also, most people are under the impression when you are being dishonest, you'll break eye contact with them. That's not true. Most of the time, the person will keep eye contact with them. This is what you're doing. Your blink rate goes way low when you're listening to someone like you're listening to me now. You blink like 2 times, right? So what you're doing is, once you tell a lie, you're waiting to see what information is going to come back and to see if you need to add what are called qualifiers to that, to say, here's why, which you've done with Dr. Phil through that whole little discussion you all had there.
I mean, you see the eyebrow is rising and you keep saying you have an eye problem. You don't have an eye problem, you have a truth problem. And that other eye is closing to try to get away from the problem. And that eyebrow is showing us you're trying to adjust the wrong eye, buddy.
Well, can I just say something?
Sure.
I've spent thousands of dollars and had serious eye surgeries, at least 4. And this one's like my really bad eye. Like, there's a ton of astigmatism.
We're joined by 4 of the world's leading body language experts who have been studying video of Tarek. Anything you guys want to comment on first?
Think carefully before you answer this. Is there any reason that evidence would have surfaced showing some of these things might have happened, maybe from a cell phone or other? And before you answer, you asked for help from Dr. Phil, and you're here for that. And if you made a mistake, that's okay, and that's something he can work with. But
yes.
Nobody's perfect.
Yes.
And if you made a mistake and there's something there, let's bring it out.
Yes. I mean, I'm not saying I'm 100% perfect or that I have the best ethics. I'll admit there's a lot of room for growth to maintain the highest level of professionalism above and beyond what the law says, above and beyond what the massage boards write. And I can do that. And I want help with that. I deny the worst allegations that I've received against me. I think 2 or even 3 clients have specifically accused me of putting my bare genitals on them. And that's just not true. It's just plain and simple.
Those are the worst ones. What are the ones that weren't so bad that we can work through?
Yes, those are things I need to learn from. Sometimes my Asperger's causes me to kind of misjudge boundaries. I might ask a question that you can get away with a friend or somebody you've known for a while. A new massage client, you have to be careful.
Who told you that you were autistic?
I was diagnosed when I was 16 in February 2004. It was in high school. It was a high school diagnosis when I first found out.
See, I don't think that's true either.
But you don't think I was diagnosed in high school?
I don't believe you were. You don't have any of the earmarks or hallmarks of someone with Asperger's at all. Not even a little bit. Everything you've shown us up to this point appears to be.
Something is working in your head right now, because I see your mouth is dry and you're licking your lips and you're feeling the stress and you've got fight or flight starting.
Well, gentlemen, that may be because I was just handed the document that he signed. Question 32 of the intake form was, have you ever been diagnosed with any mental illness or disorder? And his answer was no.
Does it fall under that category, Asperger's? Does it fall under that category? Social, mental, emotional?
Facts, you're negotiating a question, you're distancing from the answer. Those are classic deception markers. Every time I listen to you, all I hear is deception, deception, deception.
I'm sorry, I'm not
I will
trying to play
say one thing that
semantics.
concerned us as a group as a group, Dr. Phil's staff sent us an hour and a half long video to look through. The only time all four of us saw natural, truthful behavior and enjoyment was when you were discussing revenge or vengeance and how you had gotten back at another person.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to play
Now you see what you just did right there? See how your chin went down right there? And you started getting quiet? That tells us as well that something's not right here.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry. I was a little confused with this. I mean, if the question specifically said if you've been diagnosed with a form of autism, I would have absolutely answered that. I wasn't even sure what that
You know, one of the
entailed.
first things I look for when I'm talking to someone I think might have autism,
Yes.
I look for the movement in their eyebrows and their forehead. You've been Botox, so a lot of it is not working up, is not working, but your eyebrows seem to be working.
Can I give you some advice?
Please.
You're a young man, and I think you're an intelligent young man. You're not as smart as you think you are, but I think you're an intelligent young man, and I'm being very sincere when I say this to you. You don't have to let this define you, but you need to get real with yourself, because let me tell you, there's a certain aspect, and I can't sit here and diagnose you. That would be unprofessional on my part. In order for me to do a diagnosis with you, I would need to do a battery of psychometric tests. I would need to do certain structured interviews. I would need to spend time with you. I would need to interview collaterals. I would need to do a lot of things to do a proper diagnosis of you. And I can't do that here, and I'm not going to do that here. You, in my opinion, have some mental illness issues in terms of personality disorders that you need to say, this is on my to-do list.
What kind of help can I get to receive an accurate diagnosis?
Well,
that's the first step to know what I
That's
have.
the first thing that needs to happen here. And look, we're in a pandemic right now, and I am prepared. There's a company that we control because my son founded it, and I'm involved in it, called Doctor on Demand. And it's a top telemedicine company in the country. And I'm willing to get you kick-started in that regard. I'll set up 10 sessions with somebody for you right now to start you down that road. Fair enough?
Yes.
Okay. John, thank you.
Doctor.
Thank you so much. Look, if you at home want to use your own Doctor on Demand, just go to Google Play Store or Apple Store and download the Doctor on Demand app. I want to thank all of my guests today, including body language experts, Scott Rouse, Mark Bowden, Greg Hartley, and Chase Hughes. You guys are great. Thank you so much for putting so much time and effort into this. These guys break down some of the most intriguing interviews that are out there, from politicians to crime, in the Behavioral Project. I'm a subscriber. You should be a subscriber. And it is really interesting to see what they do with things that are happening in our world today. I'm going to put a link on all of our social platforms so you can find them. And Doctor, thank you so much for being here. And please be aware, anytime you go to any health professional, they are licensed by the state they practice in. These licensing boards are there to protect the public by making sure licensees are qualified and to discipline if they do not comply with professional standards. If you ever have an experience that you believe is unprofessional, you can contact the appropriate licensing board and they will investigate. They're there to protect you. If you want more information about today's show, log on to drphil.com. You can always find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, anywhere. And don't forget to subscribe to Robin's podcast, I've Got a Secret. We'll see you next time.